What is up people, and welcome back to another video. My name is DJ Chats, and today I'm going to be going over my top 10 tips and tricks in Hogwarts Legacy for newer players. I've seen a new buzz about this game recently, both on YouTube and TikTok, so I thought I would make a video. So let's just get straight into it. Tip number 1 is going to determine how the game runs. So we're going to pause, go to settings. We're going to go to the section underneath save, load and exit, display options, and we've got performance mode. So we've got 3 performance modes here. We've got fidelity with ray tracing and performance. In simpler terms, this is essentially game looks nice, game looks nicer, and then game performs better. So I would personally recommend, if you're playing through the story, doing lots of combat, go for performance. If you've completed the story and you're looking to just have a nicer game or make kind of ASMR ambience videos like I do sometimes on the channel, then I would go with fidelity with ray tracing. And if anybody's curious, I also turn off motion blur and film grain. Tip number 2 is going to be found in the menu once again. So if we go to our map from there, at the top of the screen you can see Hogsmeade map and Hogwarts map in red. You use these frequently to go to said locations, but you can also use left and right on your D-pad to switch, which is oftentimes easier instead of moving the cursor from the middle or bottom of the screen up to the top. Also at the bottom you can see here I'm hovering over R3 to wait, and we get a notification, which means we can advance from day to night or night to day, which is useful if you just want to switch to that time to make a video, or if you're trying to start a mission and you need to go from night to day. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is useful when you're in need of money. We've got the disillusionment charm, which is unlocked in Secrets of the Restricted section quite early on in the game. I'm going to head up the stairs to my right here outside the Slytherin common room, and to our left we're going to see a disillusionment chest, otherwise known as an eyeball chest. When I go up to it, I cannot open it as the eye is tracking me, but I'm going to go out of the sight of the chest, cast the disillusionment, head back up the stairs and over to the chest, and now I have the option to search, and I get 500 galleons, which is a lot, especially when you've got so many conjuration, spellcraft and potions and other things like that to buy, brooms as well. So very good. On to the next one. Tip number 4 is going to cover potions, which is something people either get really into in this game or kind of gloss over. If we go to our Hogsmeade map here, we've got 2 important places. The first one is Tomes and Scrolls, where we can buy a conjuration hop and pot spell. The second place is going to be J. Pippin's potions, where we can buy potion recipes. And the thing we're going to be doing is conjuring 3 hopping pots, which is the maximum you're able to do in your room of requirement. So this is obviously for when you acquire the room of requirement and get the conjuration spell through the main story. This is the spell here, conjuring spell. So you're going to cast that, and then if we go into potions, we're going to ignore the regular potion stations and get these hopping pots, of which we can place 3 down. So we're going to put 1, 2, 3, and as you can see here, it comes up with a question mark and a 12-minute timer. So this is going to randomly generate 3 potions every 12 minutes. I'll show you which ones we get now. So if we head back down the stairs again, you can see they're full, they're all bouncing. We've got a Thunder Brew, Invisibility Potion and a Focus Potion. So very good, and it just resets. It's a good amount of time, allows you to go do something, come back and collect. I think it's very good. Tip number 5 is quite an easy one. Everybody knows about Revelio, which is pressing left on your D-pad. It's become some sort of a meme on TikTok lately. But if you press L1 and circle on PlayStation, of course, or whatever else corresponds to you, to get onto your broom and then cast Revelio, you're going to see you've got a much greater radius for what becomes revealed to you. This is just easy for spotting chests from further out. You can see all the caves, the Merlin trials, the different layers for enemies. You can also see chests from the air from further away. You can see fluxweed seeds or eggs on the ground if you want to collect for your potions. You'll see enemies highlighted in red also if you fly near them. So just in general, a very useful thing to know. So tip number 6 is incredibly useful. As we head up to this bandit camp, we're going to learn how to cast Stupefy, which goes hand in hand with Protego, but I feel like it's not as well known. As this enemy casts a blockable attack to me, I'm going to hold down my button that's mapped to Protego, and that's going to cast Stupefy. That's an example of it again, and as you see there, that enemy had a shield up, but regardless of whatever colour it is, it does not matter. It actually goes through the shield and still stuns them. So it's a very useful spell. Again, all you're doing for Stupefy is holding down whatever button you would use to cast your own shield or Protego, and that is going to allow you to block the attack and also stun your enemy for a short amount of time. So really useful and a good spell to know. Tip number 7 is going to put some people's minds at ease as we're outside J. Pippin's potions. When we go in, we're going to take a look at selling some gear, which you collect through chests as you play the game. The problem with this is you want to sell this gear as it becomes a lower level or you need the galleons from, but maybe you're concerned that once you sell it you're going to lose the appearance and you might really like it. So in this example we've got the Celtic cape, which does look very cool in my opinion, but you need not worry about that. You can go ahead and sell the item, get the 150 galleons or whatever it may be, and then all you need to do is pause your game, go to gear, and once you're in gear you're going to go to cloaks and robes for this example and press square to change appearance. And as you can see here, every single cloak, robe, hat, scarf that you collect throughout the game goes into this section. So whether you have the item still in your inventory or not, or whether you've sold it, does not matter. Once you've picked it up you have it forever. And also, as a quick side note, you can press triangle on your cloak and robe to either put your hood up or down, just so you know. So a nice little cosmetic tip for you. Number 8 is going to take us to the talent section of this game. So if we pause and go to talents and then core, right in the middle of our level 5 we're going to have the swift talent, which means that if you hold down dodge it's going to allow you to vanish quickly and reappear nearby. This has 2 applications, the main one being in combat. It just makes things easier, taking on large amounts of enemies instead of dodging and kind of remaining in the same place. You're going to be able to move quickly to a much different place, as you're going to see here in a second. It also allows you to like completely get behind enemies, as you do have quite a lot of control over where you go. You kind of have 2 turns, it feels like, to kind of go a left or right, a straight or left. So as you can see here, I dodge this animagus and finish off this bandit camp, and I'll show you the second application now. So we're in the Jackdaw's tomb and you can see this smaller space here, which is going to activate a crawling animation. Nothing wrong with that, it just kind of slows down your gameplay a bit. If you're trying to, you know, rush through a level and keep things exciting, it can be a bit frustrating. But if you time your dash correctly, as you'll see here, you can actually avoid that animation altogether and continue on with sprinting. So it just speeds things up and is a really nice little trick. Tip number 9, we're getting a bit more advanced. We're going to be talking about spell combinations. So as I enter this bandit camp, I'm going to show you a few different examples of how you can combine spells together to make them more powerful. For this first person here, I'm going to use just Descendo. And as you can see, I only do 96 damage, so not very effective whatsoever. As I dodge around while I wait for my Descendo to load up, I'm actually going to combine Levioso and Descendo to make it more effective. And as you can see there, I get 443 damage. Moving on to a different example now, I'm going to cast Bombarda. That on its own does 317, so more effective than the Descendo, as it should be, but still not its maximum potential. So I'm going to dodge around here, move around. You can also do a Galleons and a Defindo, which is the example I'm using here, except with Bombarda. I'm not going to use this enemy because he's beside a barrel, it won't be accurate. But if I cast either this one, because he's after walking into a tornado. If I cast Galleons and then Bombarda, we go all the way up to 783. So really, really effective. It doesn't also always have to be about damage, just using things like Accio and then Incendio, with Incendio being a close range spell, of course makes it more effective and is something that should be practiced. Tip number 10 is for when you're further along in the game, but once you get to this point you won't want to go back. So if we look at the spells in this wheel, we've got Avada Kedavra, Crucio and Imperio. These 3 on their own are incredible. but we can make them better. If we head over to the talents and go to the dark arts, we've got some specific spells here, some specific talents, which are going to make this really good. We've got Enduring Curse. Curse effects last for a longer time. Imperial Mastery, an enemy under your control with Imperial curses other targets with each successful strike. Crucio Mastery, striking an enemy cursed by Crucio releases a projectile that curses a nearby enemy. Curse Sapper, defeating cursed enemies regain some of your health. And Avada Kedavra Mastery, killing an enemy with Avada Kedavra kills all cursed enemies. Now, 3 of these are major: Imperial Mastery, Crucio Mastery, and Avada Kedavra Mastery. When you get these 3 talents and combine them with the 3 unforgivable curses, you're essentially, like, in 2 seconds you're getting rid of small mana camps, no problem. All these spells go straight through shields, similar to a Stupefy or Ancient Magic, and quite easily, as you can see here, I've already taken care of everyone, and all I need to do is cast 1 Avada Kedavra, and that's going to finish off the rest of the camp. Real nice, real easy. So definitely the most overpowered spell plus talent combination you can do. And the big one is the trolls. If you're taking these out for whatever reason, whether it be troll bogeys, whether it be a challenge, they're the beefiest enemies in the game, but nothing is beefy against Avada Kedavra, as we know. This is the law, so we're just going to cast Crucio at 1, Avada Kedavra at the other, and that is all she wrote. So that is it. So if you found these 10 tips useful, please subscribe, comment which one was your favourite. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.